Hi and welcome to wrist stability training. We will always do one exercise to train the stability of our wrists, and when he has written something to almonds, we're gonna read something about almonds and we try to memorize and learn something about almonds. So always an exercise and a bit about almonds. Participating in the exercises is at your own risk. So the first exercise, both hands comfortable at the side, hands form to fists, and we're bringing these fists down and again up. And if any of these exercises causes pain at the wrists, then stop immediately. So we're going slowly up as far as we can go up with a little bit of effort. And as soon as we have reached the point which we could reach with a little bit of effort, we're turning around and then going into the other direction. And we never want to overwork the muscles and tendons and all, maybe even the joints of the wrist. So this will be the last time we're doing this first exercise. So, now to almonds. The almond is a sort of tree. So starting very at the beginning. The almond is a sort of tree. There are trees, different types, and the almond is one type of tree. Almond is a tree. Let's directly take the same thing. The almond tree produces drupes. Drupes, it produces drupes. And a little explanation to drupes. Drupes are a type of fruit in which middle a hard, woody, stony part is. So there are fruits, obviously, which don't have, according to this text, which don't have a stone in them, which is woody and hard, so it's not a rocky stone, but it's woody and hard. There are fruits without a woody, hard stone. And our drupes, made by the almond tree, have a woody, hard stone inside of them. Next exercise. Again, the hands, the fists next to us, comfortable, and we're turning these hands to the inside and to the outside this time. And we're doing this all lighted under the same rules. So we're going slowly and carefully to one side, and as soon as we've gone the way which we could go to one side, we're turning around and we're going into the other direction. And if there's pain, we stop immediately. And we never want to overwork the muscles, so that this one will be the last time. To the outside and back to the inside. The almond is a tree, the almond tree, and produces fruits. And the type of fruits which the almond tree is producing is the type of drupes, and drupes are fruits with a stone inside. So the almond tree has fruits with a stone inside, which are then called drupes because we have a stone inside. The fruit of the almond tree seems to have the same name as the almond tree. Almond. And the almond tree produces almond fruits. So almond does mean first the tree, and almond means also the fruit. It's the almond tree, and the almond tree bears or produces almond fruits, which are drupes, because we have a woody stone inside of them, a bit more. The almond fruit of the almond tree, which is a drupe because it has a hard woody stone inside, it has an outer hull and a hard shell. So the fruit has an outer hull and a hard shell. And inside of it is then the hard stone, or is it? We don't have a further explanation. The fruit has an outer hull and an outer shell. The almond shell, almond fruit. The next exercise, we're having again the arms at the side. The palms turn to the ground, and now we're moving these hands from to flat hands to the outside and to the inside. Going always as far as we can go with a little bit of effort. And as soon as we've reached the point which we could reach with just a little bit of effort, we're turning around and are going into the other direction. And this is already the last time that we're doing it. Some almond fruits are sold shelled and others unshelled. So they have an outer hull and an outer shell, and they are sometimes sold with or without shells. The next thing, blanched almonds are made by treating them with hot water. So they can be blanched. Blanched word means something like we're getting white, and these almonds are more white. So, and that's doing by treating them with hot water. So they are cooked or something. And when they are getting white, they are getting blanched. and they can be sold now, obviously blanched or with or without shell. Next exercise, the pancake flipper. Flat hands at the outside, like by the last exercise, which was the magician. And now we're turning with his palms to the sky and back to the ground. And we're going always slowly as far as we can go with a little bit of effort. So up and again down. And as soon as we've reached that point which you could reach with a little bit of effort, we're turning around and now going into the other direction. And for the last time, the sky and back to the ground. They can be sold with or without shell. They can be blanched if they are getting blanched by treating them with hot water. The almond fruit is a drupe because it has a woody stone in it, and the tree has the same name as its fruit, so it's the almond tree and the almond fruit. And they have an outer hull and an outer shell. Cleaned and processed almond fruits can be stored refrigerated for around 1 year. If almond fruits are stored at high temperatures, they are getting faster rancid. So after they are cleaned and processed, whatever that means in detail, they can be stored refrigerated, which means something like cooled for 1 year or around a year. And if they are stored at high temperatures when refrigerated, whatever exact temperature it is, they are getting faster rancid. Explanation what rancid is or how it looks like, but it seems to be a bad thing, and that happens faster. That bad thing rancing to them if they are stored at higher than whatever the exact temperature of refrigerated is. The last thing before we go on with the next exercise, almonds are used to make marzipan. So we have one explanation what is done with them, besides being blanched by treating them with hot water and selling them without shell, is that they are a part of marzipan. No explanation to what marzipan is, but they are used to make marzipan, our almonds. The next exercise, we're having the arms out with our hands, and we're bringing these hands down, and again up, and down, and again up. And this exercise was, which it will be after we're going down and up again another time, the T-Rex in the morning, and now we're gonna do the T-Rex in the gym. And if you don't have a tennis ball, just do it without one, just with the fist. I'm taking it like this with these 4 fingers, and then flat hand from the knuckles up to the elbows, and now we are pressing with moderate force down over do it onto the tennis ball or just the fist together. And release again. And press again, down do it with pressure. And release again. And press again the last time. And we are switching to the other side. And press again. And release. Press again. And release. And the last time. Pressing onto the tennis ball and releasing it. So, the almond tree grows in Mediterranean climate, warm and dry summers, mild and wet winters. So, in Mediterranean climates they are growing, and in Mediterranean climates the summers are warm and dry, so not much rain, and the winters are wet, so more rain but mild. So it's not with a lot of snow or something on the ice, they are mild these winters. And the Mediterranean is here. So here's Africa, here's Europe, and the Mediterranean Sea is here, and meant is the climate around this body of water. So warm and dry summers and mild and wet winters. The next exercise, of course, is Big Bang. We're placing the fingertips on top of the fingernails of the other hand, and now we are opening against that force. So that hand presses onto the fingernails of the other hand, and we're opening against it. And we're going to do it now for the last time. And now we're switching. So that hand, fingertips on top of the fingernails of that hand. Okay. almond trees are growing rarely on their own in the wild. So that leads to the conclusion that they're mostly not in the wild growing, but they should grow in agriculture. So that they are grown in agriculture, mostly if they are encountered, that it happens in agriculture, but not in the wild. Almond trees were one of the earliest fruit trees which were domesticated. An advantage of almond trees is that they can have offspring just from their seeds. Domestication of the almond tree was around 5,000 years ago. So 5,000 years ago the first almond trees were domesticated, which means something like they're not growing somewhere on the meadow, but they were intentionally planted somewhere in an agricultural way. And the reason for it is that they can have offspring, so that means basically that they can have kids just from their seeds. It seems to be by other fruit trees more complicated. Whatever that means. In the state California, which is at the west coast of the United States of America, 80% of the whole world supply of almond fruits is growing. So California is here. So here's South America, here's North America, here the United States of America, and there's California. And this is also pretty much on the same level as the Mediterranean Sea is. So not only at the Mediterranean Sea is Mediterranean weather or climate, but also in California a little bit warm and dry summers and wet and mild winters. Even though in California it's not wet, even not in the winter. The almond tree grows 3 to 5 meters high. The trunk has a diameter of 30 centimeters. At the age of 5, almond trees are able to bear their full potential of almond fruits. So they're getting 5 meters high, and the trunk has a diameter of around 30 centimeters. The diameter is once through, and the whole thing is the circumference. So they are this wide, the trunk of them, at 5 meters high. And after 5 years of living, these almond trees are bearing their full potential of almond fruits. The next exercise, we're bringing the hands down and we are flaring the fingers. We're bringing them up and we're making strong fists. We're pressing the hands up together. So we're pressing the fists a bit together. And we bring the hands again down and we are flaring the fingers. And we're bringing them up again into strong fists. And again down and we are flaring the fingers. Bringing them up again and we're making strong fists. And last time, down the flared fingers and up with a strong fist. Next exercise, the triangular castle architect. Both hands with fists out and we're turning these fists towards each other. And we're going through all of the 4. I don't know what it's called. Spheres, south, right hand to the east, left to the west, and both to the north and to the inside. Last exercise, with a crab anxious to a fever, hand the fist at the side, we're bringing this fist down, and we're pressing against it carefully, very carefully. And we're pulling a bit on the outside. And we're pressing a bit on the top. And bottom. Now on the other side, hand the fist next to us, the fist down, and press a bit on the outside. On the outside of the hand, so we're pressing on the inside against the hand, so pressing the hand to the outside. Now we're pulling from the outside. And we're pressing on the top. And from the ground. And we're done. Relaxation from the extension to home. Bend the arm, bring the hand up, press against the middle part of the arm. Bring the hand down, make a fist with the arm and straighten the arm. And press with the thumb against the middle part of the arm where the extension digital muscle lies. And on the other side, bend the arm, hands up, fingers up, and straighten the arm, bring the hands down, and make a fist. And again. And like that. Not much time left. The almond fruits mature in autumn, which is 8 months after the almond tree flowers. Almond tree flowered with white, pale pink flowers. So the flowers are white, pale pink of the almond tree. The almond fruit has a size of around 3 to 6 centimeters. That's the fruit. That includes the shell. And we have fruit of all. I don't have time left to repeat it, so I thank you very much, and until next time.